An overnight train, 10 hours in a war zone, and a meeting with one of the most powerful men in the Ukrainian conflict. That's the top secret operation Minister of Defence Peeni Henare has just completed, becoming the first member of the New Zealand government to travel to Ukraine to express in person New Zealand's ongoing solidarity. Europe correspondent Lisette Raymer was there.
Under the cover of darkness, the Minister of Defence boarded the Kyiv Express, heading where no member of the New Zealand government has been before.
The French President, the German Chancellor, the Italian Prime Minister are among the world leaders who have taken the overnight train into the capital over the past 9 months.
The 12-hour train ride soon reveals another morning of war and a world far too beautiful for the fighting it has endured.
To find myself here and to see it for myself is an important part for the discussion in New Zealand about how we can support Ukraine.
The trophies of war in the centre of Kyiv draw instant interest, but attention rarely lingers on the machinery in St Michael's Square for long. Because overlooking it are the faces of the thousands of Ukrainians who have lost their lives in this conflict since 2014, staring out at the world they died to protect.
That wall of remembrance and seeing all those faces, the tragedy of war sets in.
A wreath laid at the start of an emotionally charged day, Aotearoa's aroha felt at the heart of Kyiv. But Ukraine needs more than touching gestures. And there are few men whose time is more precious than the Ukrainian Minister of Defence, Oleksiy Reznikov. So this meeting was about establishing where and how New Zealand can help next.
I used Christchurch as an example of, it takes a while to rebuild and you need support to do that.
Winter has returned to Ukraine, and with the constant attacks on electricity networks, it is brutally cold. But the bitter reality of this war has never escaped Ukrainians, even if the global fatigue has started to set in. Why did it take so long for a member of the New Zealand government to come here?
Well, look, we were always quite clear that one, we didn't want to be a burden. Two, the Prime Minister has always said that it was always on the table for us, and it just so happened that actually this trip has worked out quite well with my presence here.
The VVIPs were across town, President Zelensky meeting with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, but both are VVV important visits when it comes to reminding Ukraine and Russia that the world is still watching.
We're here. We're here to support Ukraine. The impact of this conflict on them isn't lost on us.
It has been a significant 10 hours for the Minister of Defence, not nearly long enough to soak up 9 months worth of pain and suffering. But the work he has done here has gone a long way towards expressing New Zealand's ongoing support for Ukraine. Meeting with Ukrainians and their politicians face to face, as well as witnessing the destruction firsthand, is a powerful gesture from a country on the other side of the world. The Defence Minister did gift his Ukrainian counterpart a wooden patu, a gift for a chief. And at the conclusion of their meeting, they did share a long and moving hug, a moment of mutual gratitude and respect. Despite the Ukrainians' recent success on the front line, the next few months will be brutal and crucial. Millions of people are now living without power as Putin continues to unleash on critical infrastructure, and people are now being urged to leave the country if possible to reduce the pressure on the power network. But the Defence Minister leaves here with a pledge that New Zealand will continue to stand by Ukraine, even if it is from afar. In Kyiv, Ukraine, Lisette Raymer, Newshub.